Movies like Blade Runner 2049 or Cyberpunk 2077 make loneliness look beautiful. The neon lights, the rain hitting the window, the hum of a city that never sleeps. There's something haunting about it, something that feels safe. But here's the truth: a lot of us aren't just experiencing loneliness, we're protecting it, because deep down, we've convinced ourselves that maybe this is all we deserve. I think a lot of people today have learned to fall in love with their loneliness. We turn it into an aesthetic: the quiet nights, the glowing screens, the late night playlists that make us feel something. We start to tell ourselves that loneliness is maturity, that not needing anyone makes us stronger. But the truth is, sometimes we're not being strong, we're just trying to survive in silence. We've all been there, numbing ourselves with routine, scrolling endlessly, listening to songs that hurt just enough to make us feel alive again. And for a while, it works. But eventually, the silence starts to echo. My first ever relationship. It was way back in high school, and as real as most high school relationships are, realistically, it was not too devastating. Or so I thought. After we broke up during the winter time, I told myself that I was going to stay consistent in the gym, hang out with people more, and overall try my best to grow. And it started off that way, but that was soon changed quickly. Before I knew it, I would go to the gym at 11 p.m., staying till like 1 or 2 a.m., listening to things that only brought me down. After my grueling workout, I get to take a step outside into the nice, chilled, snowy weather, the snowy silence, the street lights. It was moments like those that made me feel good, even for a second, when realistically I was just isolating myself from the world and calling it healthy, but I was actually just substituting for my loneliness. The thing about loneliness, it tricks you into thinking it's peace. It tells you, see, you don't need anyone, you're good on your own. But the longer you sit in it, the more you realize it's not peace, it's protection. I think we romanticize loneliness because it's easier than admitting we're scared. Scared to try again, scared to get hurt, scared to be seen. It's easier to call solitude independence than to admit we feel unworthy of connection. And I think a lot of that comes from self sabotage, from the belief that we don't deserve better. When you've been let down over and over, your brain starts to rewrite the story. It's safer to be alone. It's better not to get too close. It's just who I am. But those aren't truths, they're defense mechanisms. After I graduated a year or so after my breakup, I decided it was time to get back out there. I started with dating apps, matching with all sorts of women, but for some reason could never bring myself to finish a conversation. After what felt like to be endless swiping, I actually met someone at a party. She seemed really cool and I got her phone number, and we started to talk. We matched really well, but after about 2 weeks of talking, I started to feel like I was not enough for her, like I did when I was in the gym or walking in the snow, and eventually lost my opportunity with her. Self sabotage isn't about hating other people, it's about distrusting yourself. It's telling yourself, if I ruin this now, at least it'll be on my terms. It's building walls so high that no one can ever hurt you again, but also so high that no one can reach you either. And underneath it all, there's self hatred. Because when you secretly believe you're hard to love, you'll chase people who prove you right. When you think you're broken, you'll choose situations that keep breaking you. We attract what we think we deserve, not what we actually deserve. That's why stories like Blade Runner and Cyberpunk Edge Runners hit so hard. They show a world full of life, but starved of meaning. People surrounded by millions, yet connected to no one. And that's us, living in an age where we can talk to anyone, but rarely feel seen by anyone. We scroll through highlight reels of other people's lives and wonder why we feel empty. We fill our silence with digital noise, and somehow that loneliness starts to feel like home. Not because it's good, but because it's familiar. But loneliness isn't destiny. It's not something we're meant to carry forever. It's a signal, a quiet nudge from your soul saying, there's more to you than this. Healing begins the moment you stop calling your isolation self-care and start asking, what am I avoiding? Because the truth is, being alone isn't the problem. It's why you're alone that matters. It's your loneliness comes from a place of peace, from self-discovery, healing, or reflection. That's growth. But if it comes from fear, avoidance, or pain, it's just another form of hiding. After what felt like a million years of isolation, I began to open up more to my friends, and actually met a new girl who's one of my best friends. And now I've actually been able to talk to them about anything. I'm able to embrace my past and my soon-to-be future and keep living day by day. May not be the happiest every day, but I'm simply just living life the best I can. You don't need to be the main character wandering a neon lit city, proving you don't need anyone. You're allowed to want love. You're allowed to want connection. You're allowed to admit you're lonely and still be strong. Because loneliness might look poetic on screen, but in real life, you deserve more than a beautifully framed emptiness. You deserve something real. And the moment you stop punishing yourself for wanting that, that's when you'll finally start to find it. Okay, I promise next video I'll actually have some progress on the house. I had to go get some gear, and now I'm ready to start farming materials for this house and getting it done. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and have a great night.